Good morning, everyone. I'm Aaron Swarden. I'm the body shop specialist at Fixed Performance. This week's body shop newsletter was on one-on-one estimator training. I'll tell you guys a little story. I grew up the son and nephew of a couple of tremendously amazing high school football coaches. They took over at a high school in 1979 that had only had 2 winning seasons in its entire 50-year existence. It took them 1 season to train the kids to win, and it took them 6 seasons to win a section championship and advance into playoff football. In 21 years at that school, they only had a handful of losing seasons. There were several section and league championships, and the success was the result of training, the continued evolution to be better, and continuing to learn to be good at their jobs. The collision repair industry over the last 5 to 7 years has seen an accelerated evolution of repair methods. The processes and procedures needed to properly repair today's cars much different than it was before. Many factors, like the materials and safety systems in today's lightweight and fuel-efficient vehicles, bring on many challenges in your shops. From an estimator standpoint, the job has become one where simply looking at the damage on these vehicles is not enough to write an estimate that is a complete scope of the repair. Ongoing training on how to solve all of the challenges is the only way to make sure you're playing your best game as an estimator. In dealer service departments, service writers rely on factory-trained and master technicians to look up documentation and information that the writer needs to write a proper estimate, to communicate with the customer, and ultimately to perform a proper mechanical repair. Much differently on the collision side, the responsibility to look up this information is most definitely the responsibility of the estimator 90% of the time. The days of collision repair technicians engineering their own repairs, like they've done for the last 30 years, are over. There are procedures for most replacement panels that instruct the technician what kinds of welds, bonding adhesives, rivets, what sectioning locations, etc., are approved by the OEM's engineers to complete the repair. There is documentation that directs and supports what scans or systems on the car need to be checked, aligned, inspected, or recalibrated as part of a collision repair. And no, not all of these things are indicated by a warning light. And yes, all of these things need to be considered by your estimator and included on an estimate. When an estimator sits down to write an estimate, what does the estimator need to know? The estimator needs to know everything. And when do they need to know it? They need to know it right now. The silent question or fact is that many estimators don't know where to find this information. And for me, it's tremendously difficult at times when you go into one of the sources that we have to look this information up, and it's not there, or it's difficult to find. Then you need to know how to translate that information into an estimate for repairs. For an example, some late model General Motors vehicles have structural components made of martensitic steel. That's a specialty steel alloy that is extremely hard. And it's put in the car because it's lightweight and it's safe. That material is identified on General Motors' materials chart as one that is not repairable. It cannot have a cold repair or a hot repair done to it. So in that instance, if you have a car that has damage that involves a pull to an area of the car that includes that kind of metal, you are doing an improper repair. The components must be changed. You have to know where to look to find these things in order to be a good estimator. One-on-one estimator training can be tailored to your specific employee skills and knowledge. From very basic to very advanced, a training session can be developed to enhance all levels of a skill set. Think about the New England Patriots and Tom Brady. They train and practice every day, yet they're probably the best people in the business, right? Having a good estimate up front at the beginning of the repair will help reduce your shop's cycle time, increase your shop's productivity and efficiency, and it'll make your body shop more profitable. Contact Fixed Performance today to schedule on-site one-on-one estimator training, and I guarantee you that the cost of this training will be covered by the first few estimates that are written after the training is completed. Thank you all, and have a great month of May.